wow, my first ever experience with Sabaton. That was awesome. I cannot get over the blending of the old world and the new, right? We got the power metal, but we also have like medieval epic choir, and we've got some orchestration happening as well. Really, really cool. Really, really enjoyed this one. Guys, please sit back, relax, and enjoy my first time reaction and analysis of Sabaton's Templars. And I'll see you after. What? Okay, wow. What an awesome, super cool start to this. So, first time ever seeing Sabaton. I know they're a Swedish power metal band. That's it. So I'm very excited, and what a great start. As someone who comes from a classical background, love the big choir. Absolutely love the big epic choir in like a cathedral soundscape where there's a lot of reverb and atmosphere. Fantastic. We're in C minor so far, and I have a feeling this is going to be a really cool blend of like old sounds and new sounds, because we have obviously something like chamber choir, which has been around for so long. But if they're, power metal, and what we just heard from when the instruments started to come in is we have, synthesizers and, heavy drums and stuff like that. So I'm excited. I do absolutely love a blend of the old world and the new. I'm all in. This is like heavy epic choir plus 80s rock or power. What is it called? Power metal, right? Power metal but power metal is like heavily influenced by 80s rock music, right? I'm pretty sure I had that right. I've listened to a lot of 80s music, and that's definitely the vibe. But that plus the full epic choir is such a cool combination. So this is a great start. I really, really love this combination. Again, old and new, blending those worlds. Little down section, no choir. So this is a massive, massive music video. Like already just from the scenery and from the costuming. And look at this. This is proper medieval armor and medieval weaponry in a castle. There was just horses. So this is awesome. Really, really fun. I mean, that aside, I'm going to talk mostly about music, but the cinematography, the epicness of it is really, really captivating. We have this little down section before we get into when our lead singer comes in, I believe, where some of the elements come away, and it kind of gives us a chance to breathe, because this introduction has been pretty big. We have the epic choir, which was organic, and then that combined with all the 80s and power metal sounds gave us a pretty big wall of sound, right? So then we got a little chance to breathe, and then they're going to kind of reset, and then I'm assuming build us back up, and then we'll see what the first chorus actually sounds like. New guitar motif. Whoa, really cool and unique sound from our lead singer here. Really warm, dark, gravelly voice, singing in English with the Swedish accent. In there, I didn't know what to expect. I didn't know if they were going to sing in English or Swedish. It's fun to analyze the voice either way, which is great. But also pretty low as well, like relatively low in range. We're not getting into like the bass. So you guys can tell I'm a natural bass voice. I can sing very low. We're not singing in like the bass range, but as far as 80s rock or the genre of power metal too, I'm going to keep referencing the 80s because I'm feeling some 80s rock vibes. The singers then and the singers of power metal are often singing higher, even at the start of the song, than we're getting here. At least in what I've heard from these genres, and there are going to be far more versed people in those genres watching. So please leave comments below. I'd love to know more about power metal itself as a genre. But typically, from what I've heard, the singers, even at the very start of the song, sing higher than we're getting from our lead singer here. This is a proper, like, relatively low range. Let's actually see where he's at. Might be a C. So we're on that C3. We're on that C3 there. So it's not a low note. It's not in the bass range, but the singer's voice is also dark and round and warm sounding, despite the kind of graveliness to it, which I think adds to it sounding even lower than it maybe is. Even so, the C above bass low C to start a power metal song seems like a relatively low starting point. But I need to listen more and learn more. He actually down to a B flat for a second. Tempo. I think he got down to a B flat below that C. Again, we're, lower baritone range for sure. Tempo. So we get that interval from D3 to B flat 2. No, D3 to B flat 2. All the way down to that B flat there, which I think is relatively low for this genre.
Protect the border, Jerusalem calling the name. Burning hell! God's call, holy order, Knights of Jesus Christ, charge from the temple. God's own chosen warriors, Templars and the march, charge from the temple.
Oh, this is huge. I love this. And so it was really cool to hear our lead singer get into that chorus because he started adding kind of more and more grit and distortion into the sound. And then he actually full on yells, we see in the music video, full on yells. What was really interesting about that yell is because of the soundscape he was in, it actually sounded like it came from my computer, even though it's coming from my headphones. I don't know if you guys have ever experienced that because it went out of kind of the studio recording and went into like I think probably that was actually probably recorded on set. It just sounded like that. And so it was like, all of a sudden it sounded like the sound was coming out of my computer. Anyway, I digress. Big, epic, like relatively harsh vocals, like yell-like quality where the vocal folds, it's not a pure tone, right? There's a lot of gravel in the sound. And it's super epic. It's super, super epic.
Ignite the flame, protect the border, Jerusalem calling the name. Burning hell!
It sounds like it's coming out of my computer.
Holy order, Knights of Jesus Christ, charge from the temple. God's own chosen warriors, Templars and the march, charge from the temple.
He's got this big, husky, dark voice, but even so, E flat 4 to F4, which is getting way up towards the top of, certainly the top of bass range, and even getting towards the top of most baritones, comfortable, reliable ranges. So stretching the voice on up towards the top, and that's how you get that big, epic, yell like, you know, we're in the middle of a battle quality here. Really, really awesome. Another down section, cool it off. Win. I love he's actually introducing a lot of vibrato into the sound, which is another something you don't often hear in any kind of metal genre that I'm used to. I mean, occasionally on like a belt, maybe like a big sustained note, there might be more vibrato that comes in, but especially with distorted vocals, it's less common. And the more distorted you get, the less common vibrato gets, and really the less you can even sort of hear vibrato, because vibrato is based very much on pitch oscillation. And the more distorted the vocals get, the less pitch there is and the more what's called noise there is in the sound. So if you're doing like a super crazy like fry scream that's almost all air, vibrato has much less of an impact as opposed to if you're singing, you know, a very pure tone. But I love hearing the vibrato. So I sing opera professionally. That's actually my main avenue of live performance, singing opera in you know, opera houses with no microphones and the big space, the whole thing. So I always love when I hear vibrato come unexpectedly, because vibrato is such a staple of the operatic technique. Sin. Just like, even though he closes down to that but keeps the vibrato going. Love it. Flame. I love that total break in musical sound before the chorus drops. We still get battle noises. Again, by the way, I cannot believe the scale of this music video. It's absolutely massive. But we get battle noises before this second chorus hits, but the music itself actually cuts out for a couple seconds. That's our guy. That's our lead singer, right? For the group. He just got stabbed. Dang, main character death. Bells for our lead singer. Yeah, second chorus, super awesome. Very much the same as the first chorus, pretty much a carbon copy as far as, you know, approach to the vocals, epic sound. They're still in the battle scene. So nothing really new there. Let's see what happens next. Some kind of bridge section. Yes, strings and epic choir. I love this bridge section. So our lead vocals are cut out, any kind of leads or harmonies, but we have epic choir back, and we get, I think, the first time in the song, some big string motion. So we have in the left ear, if you're listening in headphones, you can hear a lot of motion happening in, I believe, a violin with a violin or a violin section. Let me listen back a bit. But the strings in the epic choir, again, that pulls us from the new world back into the old world, because stringed instruments and chamber choir have been around for a very, very, very long time. Very long time. Yeah, violin section. So if you listen really carefully, there is one guitar rhythm guitar they have way over here in the right ear, and it kind of balances the violin, but the violin's actually much stronger and more prominent in the mix. And more background, aside from opera, I do a lot of music production and audio engineering, and I'm working on a ton of original music myself. So I comment a lot on audio engineering things as well, mixing, compression, EQ, and side chaining, all that good stuff. So once in a while I'll comment on something like that where some mixing element I think is interesting, and usually I'll comment if I think it's something you guys will be able to hear. And I think that one's pretty obvious. So listen carefully for a guitar in the right ear and the stronger violin in the left ear. Sorry, my Siri on my iPad just butted in. All right, we're back. Brass. The first time we get brass. Ba, 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 ba. Awesome. Damn, the Black Knight. The knight in all black. The Black Knight coming in. This is awesome. Something I really love about this, and actually I think I'm connecting with it so much because I'm writing this absolutely enormous piece of music about the Trojan War and Achilles and those characters there. And there are big moments where the lead vocals are gone and it really is much more like film score, where like it might be a big battle scene, and it's, writing music to best describe or to best invoke what the feelings are, what the emotions are, what the action is in the battle scene. And this reminds me a lot of that, of just like lead vocals away. And we have like, I don't know how long it's been, like a minute so far, at least like 45 seconds of just essentially just film score. Like we're just watching a medieval battle take place right now with music. So really cool and an awesome technique that I've been using. And so it's always something I'm going to notice when other artists are doing it. And of course, this is just an excellent example of it. Hell of a throw. All our boys are dying. All right, guitar solo. I'm not messing with that guy.
False accusations, put out the flames. Assassinations, Jerusalem still calls the name.
The Black Knight taken down by one of our boys. See, like that was almost, I think, 2 minutes of just music with no lead vocals. So that's pretty wild. That's not something you hear very often. Love the big guitar solo. So they stab each other. They get each other. Savage. Yeah, they both got stabbed, right? Oh no, not the sacred text to clean up the blood, to clean up the wound. Oh man, and we're back to a third chorus, and so far quite similar to the first two choruses. I'm always interested for all kinds of music, if there's a repeated chorus, what the group does for the final chorus to elevate it, because you really, in an ideal world, you elevate one chorus to the next. Usually choruses 1 and 2 are the same, are very close to the same, and then the third one's elevated, so that you really don't reach the climax. You don't reach the biggest moment of the song until that final chorus, and then the listener gets a big payoff, and then they go, wow, I'm so glad I listened to the whole song. I'm going to listen to the whole song again to get that journey, right? So far, similar final chorus, but we'll see if anything changes.
Jesus Christ, charge from the temple, God's own chosen warriors, Templars on the march, charge from the temple, God's call, holy order, knights of Jesus Christ, charge from the temple, God's.
Once I'm going to check something, there might be an added bang, bang, like offbeat guitar part happening. So that's something new in this final edition of the chorus. There's a ga, ga, ga. There's an added guitar chord strike happening on each beat, on each 2 and 4 beat. 1, 3, 1, Listen for this. Other than that, I think it's about the same. Ooh, you're gonna make me read and learn history. I'll read it. Legends say, in the year 1307, King Philip IV of France is drowning in debt to the Templar order. At his wit's end, the king desperately dispatches letters of arrest, falsely accusing the Knights Templar of heresy and blasphemy. These orders were set to be executed on Friday, the 13th of October. Okay, what happens next? What happens next? Cool. All right. All right, so that's our group. I don't know how to pronounce these names, so I'm not going to try. The one that starts with the J, I believe that's our lead singer. That's something else I gleaned from my quick lookup of the group. What an awesome intro and a really cool song. I love the blending of old world and new. As someone who is an opera singer, very old genre, and actively produces modern music, very new. I love the blending, and I think that's where the coolest music is, quite frankly. The blend of like electronics and orchestration. It has my heart. It absolutely has my heart. This was really fun, really fun. So I hope you guys enjoyed my first experience with SABATON. Yeah, please leave recommendations for other songs from them you'd like me to check out, or other groups similar to them. Really, any recommendations, leave them in the comment section. I do read them. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Hope you learned something. Hope you gained a little appreciation for this or that, a vocal thing or an audio engineering thing. And I'll see you in the next SABATON video. Peace.